head up to Fort Collins to play Thursday against Colorado State. And then we conclude the week with a home match, our first home match of the season, against Wyoming at 1 p.m. On Saturday at Dream Stadium in the pit.
Yeah. Thanks again, as always, for being here. We're excited to get started with opening round of conference play. We said we wanted to go out and play against the best, and we're going to go do that right away with Colorado State, who's playing some unbelievable volleyball. I think there's something like 11-1, and we're breaking down some film on them in the last 3 days, and they're a strong team. And our crew has been tested, though, which is exciting for us, as I think we feel like, hey, we've gone through some battles, and we've come out now, we've learned some lessons, and we've come out now on the up end of some really tough battles. We had 2 great tests with North Texas and Kansas State last weekend, and so yeah, we're just kind of chomping at the bit to go get after another really good team on their home court. And so we'll leave tomorrow for that, and we're excited to get back here and play in front of our home fans. It's something these guys haven't been able to do for almost over a month now. So we're excited to get back here on Saturday and go get after it against Wyoming. So
for people who only play at the family reunion, what basically does Colorado State do effectively that you really are worried about?
Yeah, I think for kind of the average fan that's not as deeply involved in volleyball X's and O's is you'll notice that they have a really physical team. So they've got size, they've got power, they've got speed. One of the things that's unique about them is their distribution in how they set the ball. So some teams are really heavy to a left side attacker, to a right side attacker. They've got this really nice balanced offense, and I think that's one thing that we're going to put some time in yesterday. We put some time in yesterday, we're going to put a lot of time in today, is how do we defend a team that's coming at you every rotation with 3 really good attackers? And so that's our blockers getting great lineups. That's our servers being great, attacking the space around the right passer that gives us the best advantage to winning the point. So that's, I think, for the average fan, that's what they would notice is that Colorado State is this really complete team. And when they come at you, they have 3 physical attackers coming at you in 3 of the 6 rotations. And so I think that can get away from you pretty quickly. So that's one thing we got to work on today in practice, is put some time in. What does it feel like to have this constant threat of 3 attackers coming at you?
Coach, as you guys get ready to start conference play, do you like what you see? Because I know that you talked about playing that tough schedule, so you would be ready for this part of the schedule. So.
Absolutely. This team going into this last weekend, we'd lost some really close matches. We came up, I believe, after the first 3 weekends, we were minus 2 points per set. There's a little differential of minus 2 points between us and our opponents. We've now shaved that down to 1.5 points per set. And so we're getting better, and we're getting better in the right areas. We're serving the ball a little tougher. Our attackers are making better decisions out of system. I really like that we were able to kind of go late into some sets where 2 weeks ago we were coming up on the short end of those. And last weekend against really good teams, we're pushing deep into a set, and we were down 3 late, and we end up winning the set 30-28, and we end up winning the match in 5. And so we showed some real kind of emotional and kind of physical resilience to that. We stayed fresh, our legs, that we were jumping just as well as we were at the end of the set as we were at the beginning of the set. And I think emotionally we just stayed connected as a team, and that was to me, that was the separator. That's what separated us from North Texas in that 5th set. And then we had a pretty rocky start to the Kansas State match, and it was just really nice to see us steady the ship and get back to just being good over time. And that's been a big goal of ours, so it's nice to see us do that.
Hey, Coach, you got 6 new freshmen this year.
Yeah.
How are they coming along? Are they ready to go up against the Mountain West guys?
That's it. Yeah, you would probably first take a look at Caitlin Biasu, who's been in our opposite role, and she's scored 22 points 2 weekends ago. I believe it was against Oregon State, and so she's proven that she can play against some really good teams. So a Pac-12 teams, and she's scoring points. We've redshirted 2 of the athletes, and then we had a medical redshirt of 1 of the athletes. So of the 6 we have coming in, that we're seeing that the veteran players are filling the roles we needed them to play. And the freshmen are doing a great job filling into these auxiliary roles, but also the fact that they can also take over. So 22 kills against a good team, that's pretty exciting for us. And I think you start to see, okay, there's some future that's building here. And also these veteran players in Lauren and Ty are doing a great job steadying the ship and just kind of being the rocks for this team as we go into battle.
Does it make you feel a lot better after, losing 3 5-setters and finally winning that 5-setter? It's kind of neat to do it now, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. And like I said, we I'm really big on this idea of looking at the point differential. So the number of points our team is scoring versus the number of our opponent's points are scoring. What are the percentages of the outcomes that are favored in our outcome? And we were at, our opponents were winning 51.2%, and we were at, what is that then? The 48.8% was what we were winning, and we kind of, now we're getting closer. And as soon as we can flip that tide, oh boy, here we come, and until then, we're going to learn some lessons. And the goal is, can we learn those lessons before it's a third or fourth, fifth set loss? And so what was nice is we came up on the up end, having learned some lessons from earlier in the season.
Do you guys separate the season like saying, okay, this is a new season, this is conference season, because I know how much emphasis you were putting on conference.
Absolutely. So, yeah, it's funny you say that because we're having that conversation today, and we talked to the team yesterday. Hey, come in ready with some feedback. How are we doing? Where are we going on this path, and how is that path looking right now? And that's the conversation we're having today to start practice. Is on our roadmap to winning a Mountain West Conference championship. Here were the 5 things that I have in place, that I put into place, and now we're going to go review them. And hey, how are we doing in these areas? And that's just kind of a way that we can evaluate our performance over the last 4 weeks, and as we head into the next 8 weeks of this conference play. And I like where we're at. I say that a lot, but I mean it. These guys are showing some true resilience in the way that we play, and so it's been fun to watch.
Coach, has anyone ever studied the speed of a kill?
Yeah.
I mean,
Okay.
the biggest,
The miles
fastest
per hour.
kill,
The
yeah.
miles per hour. So they not at the NCAA Division I women's level. At the international men's level, you've got guys. Well, we study it from a serving perspective. We have a radar gun that we bring out to practice, and we're looking for this range between 38 to 42 miles per hour with our jump, float, serve. So for our serving, if we're pushing up into the high 40s, we're causing some real trouble. But the risk factor of that starts to increase dramatically. So we would like to keep it between this 38 to 42 miles an hour range, where we can serve 4 tough serves in a row. The attack from hand to floor when someone's spiking it, yeah, you can get up into this high 60s, low 70s in women's volleyball. In men's volleyball, you're looking at even like the low 80s. The game gets played a little bit faster internationally with men's level. So.
How does your team match up in velocity?
I think that's more player to player. I think we have some players that are a little bit better, higher and deeper and flatter, and their velocity is not nearly the same as someone that, like Lauren, for example, Lauren Twitty, our outside hitter. When it goes from her hand to the floor, I would say she could be up there with anybody else we played. And we've got a couple other players that are a little more limited in size, that might just not be jumping as well. And those guys are hitting it a little higher and flatter off the edges of the block, trying to find their advantage that way. So I think there's 2 different types of attackers that you're looking at. And our middle blockers are going pretty sharp to the ground, to the floor. And so I think those guys are probably right in the ballpark of where they need to be. Yeah.
Coach, you were talking about Colorado State, just some of the unique things they bring to the table. If not now, then by the end of the season, what do you want to be most unique about this team?
Yeah, good question. We take pride in the fact that our serving is going to be, it's going to feel suffocating to play against us. You side out in one rotation, the very next time we go back, we're going to hit you again just as hard with another good server that can attack space between passers. And so that's this idea that we are just this relentless serving team, that we're going to come at you all the time. And then offensively, we like to take pride in how fast we play the game. So you asked how fast do the balls get spiked or get attacked. We like to look at it, how fast can we play it? So we're looking for less than 1 second to go from our setter's hands to the attacker's hand. So we take a stopwatch out to practice, and we're looking for that to be a 1 second or less, so sub 1 second go, or a left side set. And our red, which is a set behind the setter, the same thing, a little under a second, which puts a lot of stress on the opponent's blockers and defenders. So if you ask me, what do in a couple weeks when we get back here, how are we doing with our serving and our attacking, that would be something I would be looking at.
Any other questions?
Am I reading this right? Now, do you only play Colorado State once?
Yeah, we only have them once.
So that's good.
We'd like to get them both times,
Yeah, you
So
probably would, but
yeah.
it's kind of good that maybe we can beat somebody else instead of them.
Yeah, there's some advantages to the way the schedule worked out here for sure. Yeah. Good question.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys. Yeah.